Well, the Israel-Hamas war has reached a critical turning point. Militants are expected to release another group of hostages today as negotiators scramble to extend a fragile ceasefire before it expires tonight. Hamas released 12 hostages yesterday, but dozens are still being held. Shanelle Kaul is following all the developments.
Celebrations erupted on the streets of Tel Aviv Tuesday as Israel welcomed home 10 hostages released by Hamas.
She told me sometime the food was not enough and the water was not enough. She told me in some points they had a small bottle of water for each person for 2 days.
9 Israeli women and a 17-year-old girl, plus 2 Thai foreign nationals were freed. One day before the temporary truce is set to end, though the deal could be extended again. In exchange for those freed hostages, Israeli authorities say they released 30 more imprisoned Palestinians, the youngest just 14 years old. No Americans were freed on Tuesday.
There's still a lot there and more left to be done to get them out.
Up to 9 are believed to be held captive, including 19-year-old Itai Hen, whose father is holding out hope.
The fact that he is a U.S. citizen, maybe that gives him maybe an extra layer of protection, but I don't think it matters too much to Hamas.
The relative calm of the truce allowed food, water, and fuel to move into Gaza as the U.S. airlifts more than 54,000 pounds of aid for the 1.8 million people displaced and stuck within the enclave's borders. But the flow of that aid could soon come to a pause as Congress debates how to proceed with funding Israel's war.
Well, among the hostages released on Monday were 2 siblings, Sahar and Erez Calderon. Their father is still being held by Hamas, though, and 2 of their other family members, a 13-year-old girl and an 80-year-old grandmother, have been found dead. Their cousin, Abbey Onn, an American citizen living in Israel, spoke to us in October, just days after they were taken. And here's what she said then.
When the rest of the family came out of the bomb shelters after Hamas had burned and murdered half of the kibbutz, they understood that these 5 members were not there. And it was on Sunday that we saw on Instagram, on social media, the video of Erez in the hands of Hamas, which made us understand that they had been taken captive and that they're being held hostage in Gaza.
So Abbey Onn is joining us now to speak a little bit more about her loved ones. Abbey, thank you for joining us again.
Thank you for having me back.
I can't imagine the emotional roller coaster that you and your family have been through, the highs, but incredible lows, and also still agonizing about one family member that is still with Hamas. Tell us how you were feeling now.
It is indeed an emotional roller coaster. You know, starting 53 days ago with what we believed were 5 hostages, learning that 2 were murdered, and then seeing the release of these 2 children 2 nights ago. It's the first time I think any of us have smiled or exhaled since October 7th, but we knew that we had a short period to rejoice because we need to keep fighting for Ofer, for their father, and we need to keep fighting on behalf of all the hostages. Every single one has to come home.
So tell me about Sahar and Erez. How are they doing? Physically, are they okay? Emotionally, how are they?
Physically, they are okay as things go. They're not wounded. They're malnourished. They didn't get a lot of food. They weren't able to use the bathroom when they needed to, right? Like, I think we don't really describe or imagine to ourselves what it must be like to be kept in captivity, but it's horrific. We're hearing so many things now come out of those that were released where they couldn't speak loudly. They were forced to watch the horror movies of what happened on the 7th. They were held at gunpoint. They weren't given food. Almost every single person that's come back has lost significant amount of weight. So we're seeing now the outcome of these horrors.
So did you say they were some captives we're hearing now were forced to watch the video that was shot on that day of the terror attack?
One of the 12-year-old boys was forced to watch, not Erez, but a different one was forced to watch that awful movie. And if he cried, he had a gun pointed at him and told him to be quiet.
So in terms of your cousins now, were they together the whole time? What do we know about how they were held?
We're not sure yet. We know, that they were released together, and we're not sure that, we're still learning a lot of the facts. but they went directly to the hospital for medical care. Their mother and their two older siblings were waiting for them there. So that, I think, was the best case scenario in the sense that they could go right to Hadass, to their mother. And we have a big and strong family that will continue to fight for Ofer and to continue to fight for every single hostage.
Well, these families of the hostages, I mean, really, it was your outcry that helped to turn this around, helped to bring about this ceasefire to allow for the release of hostages. But as you know, there was a lot of diplomatic pressure happening behind the scenes. Their father is still there. I know that there's a request to at least have the Red Crescent or someone go in for some sort of proof of life, some sort of wellness check. What would you like to see the Israeli government and the American government do moving forward?
Right now, I'm not a military expert, but if you can continue the ceasefire to get more hostages out, that's, of course, the best case scenario. But beyond that, I think all of us are confounded as to why the Red Cross or Red Crescent or UN or any international aid organization hasn't gone in, because that's part of the terms of the ceasefire. Now, we know that there are wounded people there. We know that one of the women that came out in the first groups was 4 hours away from her death because she didn't get her medicine. And we're constantly in touch with the ICRC, and we're constantly trying to pressure for signs of life and for the delivery of medicine, because people need things to stay alive. Hirsch Goldberg, Poland, is missing an arm. He needs medical attention. He needs to be brought home. So those two things, the best case is to get them all out now. And the minimum is to get an international aid organization in with medicine and care.
Well, Abby, thank you so much for talking to us. I know it's an emotional time for you. Let's pray that Ofer gets home, and I know you'll continue to fight for all the other hostages as well. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, Israel says the youngest hostage held in Gaza and his family may have been transferred over to another Palestinian militant group. 10-month-old Kafir Bibas has now spent more than 50 days in captivity, along with his 4-year-old brother Ariel and their parents. The Bibas family gathered with supporters in Israel yesterday to call for their release and spoke about their kidnapping.
This is your enemy. Kafir, a 10-month-old baby. Ariel, 4 months. A 4-year-old boy. This is your enemy. Kidnapping children are in line with the Islam values.
Around 100 people gathered for the Bibas family yesterday. Secretary of State Antony Blinken is in Brussels this morning, where he met with NATO foreign ministers. The ongoing Russian invasion of Ukraine was high on the summit agenda. Blinken was quick to dismiss questions over whether the war between Israel and Hamas has overshadowed Western support for Ukraine.
We certainly had conversations about Gaza, but it in no way took away from the intense focus that we've had over the last couple of days on Ukraine, as well as on Western Balkans, and preparing for the NATO summit in Washington next spring. I heard a strong, enduring commitment on the part of alliance members to Ukraine, to making sure that it had what it needs to defend itself, to retake territory seized from it by Russia, but also to build itself up so that it can stand strongly on its own feet, militarily, economically, and democratically.
After the NATO summit, Blinken will return to the Middle East in the hopes of extending the pause in fighting between Israel and Hamas and expanding access to aid in Gaza.